Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Unwanted Mind podcast. This is episode 26. Very excited. A lot of exciting news. To many, to some, there was a lot of bad news that happened this week. I'm just gonna say what I'm referring to. The Andrew Tate, being banned from all social medias. A lot of people were happy about that, and a lot of people were devastated by that. I'll tell you what spectrum I lean more towards later on in the podcast. But yeah, I mean, how you guys doing? I'm very excited to get talking about the topics in this podcast that I have for today. And based on the title, you can see we got big topics. We got big topics. We got the House of Dragons. We got the Andrew Tate, like I said. Excuse me. We also have She-Hulk. We'll be talking about all the reviews on the shows, what people think about it, audience, critics. I'm gonna be getting to all that. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of huge topics that happened this week, and I'm excited to get right into them. I'm just gonna say, I had a great weekend. I did a lot of stuff. I think the thing is, I have bad memories, so I forget what I do. I believe on Sunday I went to the beach with my family. It was pretty fun. We just hanged out. Just checked out the beach in Pacifica. It was very busy. There was a lot of people there. It was great though, just spending time, taking a break from work, because I'm always working on my stuff, and mine is always all right, I gotta work on this idea, or I gotta work on this YouTube video, I gotta work on this clothing design, I gotta write some rap lyrics, so I can still stay sharp with my pen. It's just a lot of stuff. So when you take breaks like that and you just see the outside world, and just you feel at peace, it's great. It's a great thing to do. I'm also starting to wear what's it called, button up, not button up shirts, but those kind of a Hawaiian shirt, stuff like that, that's it's buttoned from top to bottom. I'm starting to wear stuff like that, and it just I feel very comfortable, and I feel like it's really for me. So I just want to throw that out there. Saturday I went to Santa Cruz. I ate pretty good. There's this burger joint called Betty's over there. Honestly, for me personally, if I go to Santa Cruz, I literally have to eat there, or it's my mom told me this quote. She's like, well, if you go to Santa Cruz, you don't go to Betty's. It's like you didn't go to Santa Cruz. And I 100% agree with that. It's such an amazing place. I'm not saying that Santa Cruz doesn't have a lot of good spots to eat at, but that was just that's just my top place just to go. And Friday, I just went to the gym. Obviously, I posted all the content. But yeah, you let me know in the comments how you guys are doing. What you guys do this weekend. And I'll be getting to it. But yeah, man, let me list the topics that we have for this podcast. Episode 26. Damn, we're pretty far in, and we got 4 more episodes until we get episode 30. I like hitting those tenths, you know what I mean? 10, episode 10, episode 20, episode 30, episode 40. It's just we're getting closer and closer just to that 100 spot. And I'm not saying that's where I'm going to stop at, but just I feel like when you have 100 episodes out of your podcast, you're pretty much solidified as oh yeah, he's really about his shit, right? And obviously that's what 100 minus 26. What is that? I believe 74. So obviously 74 more weeks, until I'll hit that goal, which is probably next year, right? The end of next year or something. But hey, we're still gonna grind it out. We're still gonna do the best that we can. And yeah, man. Later on, the more podcasts I have, the more views I'm getting, I can pull, people I can interview. This is just the beginning. All right, so for topics that we have for this podcast, we have obviously the Andrew Tate, banned from all social medias. We have House of Dragons gets good reviews. And She-Hulk is pure fun. That's how it was described. Other subtopics that we have that I may get into later on. We have Trevor Noah defending Kanye West. Another Kanye West topic. We have Kanye West putting his clothes in trash bags, quote unquote trash bags, at the Gap store, and being criticized on that, and him obviously responding back pretty emotionally. There's this one's coming by surprise. Hannah Montana runner-ups actresses revealed. So what that means is that the actresses that were basically runner-ups to be Hannah Montana before Miley Cyrus. I'll be getting into those two people specifically that are pretty big names that were gonna be Hannah Montana, but obviously Miley Cyrus took that bag. You know what I mean? Another topic, we have Jonah Hill saying that he's taking a break from promoting films due to anxiety attacks. God bless him. We have Fetty Wap faces a minimum of 5 years. That's pretty big. I haven't heard Fetty Wap in the news in a while. No disrespect towards him, because most of the music that he's released, is really good. I just don't know why he fell so hard. Because, dude, I mean, he made my 2017s and 2016. With his bangers. Like, I love the guy. He has bangers. You really can't deny that. But I don't know why he fell so hard. Another subtopic. We have the movie theater Regal considering to file for bankruptcy. This one hit me hard, man. When I first saw this, because I go to Regal occasionally. You know what I mean? Like, I love Regal. I love going to Regal. Regal is, for those who don't know what Regal is, it's, I don't know if they have this in other states, but in California specifically, it's like a very luxurious theater. They have like a bar. They have like amazing food options that they'll bring you. Great snack bar, obviously. And it looks nice, right? Just the way it looks, it's very just like luxurious, right? And so is the rooms. The rooms are just massive. And the seats are like recliners, and it's so comfortable, right? And also the screen is just massive, right? It's like you're watching an IMAX movie, but you're paying standard price for it. It's standard, but it looks like an IMAX. So just with that in mind, just imagine how big the IMAX is, right? And it's pretty cheap, right? For the price for all that services, it's a bargain, right? But I believe for those reasons, that's why they may be filing for bankruptcy, And obviously there's a lot of competition out there, so I do understand that, but we'll see. They also, I saw under an Instagram post, the account Regal, the verified account Regal, it's the actual account for Regal. They said that they're still open for business and they're not closing anytime soon. So that's good, right? And yeah, those are all the topics that I have listed out. So let's get right to the first topic. So for the first topic that we have for today, this is a big one. I know, and I feel like this one is going to bring me the most attention, right? The most views, people listening to what I got to say about this hell of a guy, the top G. So before I give my opinion out on him, And I know a lot of people already know my opinion on him. If you follow me on Snapchat or you follow me on Twitter, because I post my tweets from my Twitter on Snapchat. That's how most people would know. And yes, people wondering, why do you post your tweets on Snapchat? It's because I don't get much attraction on Twitter, okay? Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, bro, this guy gets like no views on his Twitter. That's why he posts on Snapchat. Yeah, you're right. But that's how you kind of grow following. You know what I mean? You gotta put it to a larger, wider audience, because I got a wide audience in Snapchat. I can post it on there, and then people would go on my Twitter and check me out on there. Because I do reply to a lot of stuff on Twitter. I don't post my replies, but I post my actual tweets on there. So if you want to see the exclusive shit, you go to my Twitter and follow me on there. So again, if you follow me on any of those platforms, you know my take on this man. But so so if you live under a rock and you don't know who this Andrew Tate guy is, let me just try to break it down in a simple way, right? So Andrew Tate kind of sparked earlier this year. I would say probably around. He's been around for a while, but he's gotten pretty big this year. I would probably say around maybe February. Is that safe to say? Around February, maybe March, May. I don't know. I feel like around there. So this guy has gone viral on all of social media for just his takes. His extreme takes, mostly on women. I guess lifestyle. Those are the two main stuff, and mostly his takes about women are always hating on them. He's always bashing on women. For an example, he says that women should not be driving, right? He says I'd rather get in a car knowing that a man is driving than a woman is driving, because he says, from my personal experience, when a woman is driving, I'm like scared for my life, right? He says stuff like that, right? But as to a man, when a man is driving, he feels more safe. He feels more comfortable. Because he said he got in 2 accidents, quote unquote, 2 accidents with a woman driving, and from there he just he just never trusted a woman driving. And there's a lot of extreme takes like that. He says a lot of other shit. He's saying women can't do what men do. Just just in general, because I understand there's things that man or woman can't do compared to man, but there's also things man can't do compared to women. So it's just like I don't know why he makes this argument that like, oh, women can't do what man do, but he never makes it clear that like it also works the other way around, right? He's always on the man side of things. And he's always like, don't let these women, belittle you or whatever. And he also says a bunch of other shit like, oh, bro, if you drink water, you're a pussy. Real man drinks sparkling water. Like, he says shit like that. It's like, bro, you don't like bubbles in your shit? You complain, there's bubbles in my water. He's like, you don't like bubble water? Like, that's the way he says. You don't like bubble water? Like, he just says the most outlandish shit. Literally shit I just, like, no one gives a fuck about. But for some reason, his minions that he, that signs up with his, with his, scam business, Hustlers University, they just promote his shit, and it's literally in the contract in his scam business, Hustlers University. he pays these. Oh no, he doesn't pay him. People pay Andrew Tate to promote his shit, right? And it's literally in the contract to promote a bunch of Andrew Tate clips. So when Andrew Tate says, because he says this recently, he's like, you can't ban me, like I literally don't have an account. But he pays, oh no, people pay him to create accounts. And that's, that's pretty much, that puts him responsible, right? Because he literally has a business for people to promote his stuff, right? He also has another take that I just looked up right now. He says that 26-year-old women have been passed around a lot. They've been with much more men. They talk to more guys. They've been to the clubs, been in more places. They've been fucked and dumped. More arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess to clean up. This is all literally word by word what he said. And this is what a 19-year-old, she's fresh. I can put, quote, this is literally his words. She's fresh. I can put my imprint on her. Make for that as you will. I can make her a good person, and without her having to go through all the detriment, that life has. Knowing who Andrew Tate is, I'm gonna leave this for you guys to answer. Knowing who Andrew Tate is, do you really think that this man can make a woman be a better person? I mean, you know what he means, right? You know exactly what he means by that. He means that, oh, she's younger, she's like more naive. I can control her more. I can tell her what the fuck to do. I'm the one with the money. She'll listen to what I say. And it's just like it's crazy hearing shit like that without any consequences, right? Like consequences of saying that, right? And people will be like, oh, it's freedom of speech. Like, dude, are you not listening to what he's saying? He's literally saying that 19-year-old women are, and I don't even know, can you say 19-year-old women? Because for me, that's still young as fuck, right? So a 19-year-old girl, he's literally saying that they're more naive and I can control them more and tell them what to do. Like, he's literally saying that, So it's about fucking damn time that he's gotten in trouble for saying bizarre shit like this. And this was not even the reason why he got banned. This is probably added on to it, right? But there's a clip out there, and I'll be getting to it later, on the main reason why he got banned. And it's about LGBTQ plus. He's talking about I'll get into that later, but I just wanna just warm you up. You're telling you some some of the bizarre shit that he said, right? So I'm just like lubing you up. So when I tell you the main shit, you're gonna be like, whoa. All right, so there is many allegations against Andrew Tate. As far as, allegations go, this is probably more on the extreme side, right? He has allegations towards him about domestic and okay, let me rephrase that. There's allegations on him that are assault and domestic abuse. There is sex trafficking allegations against him. Obviously, misogynistic remarks on him. Like child molestation, There's a lot of shit. Rape allegations on him. Dude, I mean, there's just so much, And the fact that he's got banned is about fucking time. You know what I mean? Because Because all the other shit, right? Like what you see on TikTok or on social media in general, you see all the clips on him, and you can like laugh at it. You can be like, oh, yeah, that's funny. But then we see the more serious shit, and these allegations. What I'm about to read right now on mixarticle.com. So you guys know my source when I'm reading this. It's not just coming from my ass. The shit that you see, or the shit that you hear from people saying that, like, oh, Andrew Tate just playing a character. He's just an entertainer. He's a comedian. This is like his alter ego. Like, this is how he wished he was, but he's not like this. He's actually a very sweethearted person. He's actually the complete opposite. He's a woman lover. He's so kind to women. He gives loads of money to charities that focus on helping women and providing, resources that they need. You hear shit like this all the time, right? And that's cool, right? If you want to believe that, that's cool, right? But then you look more into it, and then you see actual real life shit about him, allegations. And I understand, right? You can't be guilty until proven, right? I understand all that, right? Allegations are allegations, right? But when you get so many, right, it's to the point where people start believing the alligator, right? Is that how you say it? Is that how you describe a person saying, giving allegations? Alligator? An alligator? All right. And then you start to believe the person giving the allegations, right? Because there's more and more. They're just stacking up, right? At some point, you got to believe it, right? So, what I'm about to read right now is the allegations that are brought upon Andrew Tate. So I'm just going to read from top to bottom, right? So the case update is currently being sought after on TikTok, where assault and domestic abuse groups are pushing for Andrew Tate to be blacklisted. Amari Tate, Andrew Tate's real name, Andrew Tate III, an American-British former kickboxer and internet sensation, was born on December 14, 1986. Tate transitioned from kickboxing to influencer marketing after his stint in the sport. But his misogynistic remarks on subjects like child molestation caused him to be suspended from Twitter, as he should. I mean, a lot of shit can be, and I'm talking a lot of shit can be passed on Twitter without it being deleted or removed. But when it comes to topics like this, it should be it's an instant red flag, right? It should instantly be banned, right? Tate, the chess player, Amari Tate's son, has been the focus of legal inquiries into allegations of rape and human trafficking. So Andrew Tate's sex trafficking allegations, is it true or false? The outspoken influencer Andrew Tate and an ex Big Brother contestant have been accused of promoting violent assault culture content to audiences as young as 13 on the platform, and TikTok is under pressure to take their videos down, according to the Daily Mail. So, and that's one of the main things, right? A lot of stuff that, or most of the stuff that Tate has been, promoting online, are basically mind controlling these younger audiences into believing what he says, right? Since there's so much hype about him, people are like, oh, we love Andrew Tate, he's a top G, the herd grows, right? There's more sheep that grow from this, and the kids are the most naive, right? So when there's a topic that's being that's going viral, obviously these kids are gonna lean towards it and they're gonna play along with it, right? So then they're gonna be saying stuff like that, right? They're gonna be like, "Oh, we hate women," or And I know it's normal for kids to be like, "Oh, boys are cool, girls drool." I understand that, but now there's actual shit that they're saying like, "Oh, girls belong in the kitchen." "Oh, girls need to, stop driving," and just shit like that. And there's been a lot of reports from teachers on like Reddit. They like, or just maybe it's like an article or whatever. You can literally search this up, right? There's teachers saying that their students are saying like quotes from Andrew Tate during class and to the teacher as well, saying that women should, or teachers should not be women, like saying this to women teachers, right? And these are real teachers saying this. There's also TikToks of a teacher being like, "I worked for this, so and so in school. I'm in this class, and these kids are being very heavily negatively influenced by, Andrew Tate." And so for people trying to debunk that, no one's being influenced, no one's dumb enough, to fall for shit like this. People saying that are, an older age. They're probably most likely over 18. So, when you're younger, you'll fall for stupendous shit, right? Because at that age, whatever's cool, whatever, people their age are talking about, they'll lean more towards it because, they want to look cool or they want to have more friends, right? Let me continue reading. The 35-year-old former kickboxer Andrew Tate was raised on a... Okay, so I don't need to know about any of this. This is basically a story. I don't really give a fuck about this. Okay, so in 2012, he was the focus of a personal video, and no one will be able to tell who directed his movie. Many believe his wife may have recorded his assaults in secret. In order to prove something to the police, she can do so by showing them this video. But this is simply a rumor, and it's unclear whether it's true or not. The video was apparently recorded in a private and released to the internet without his permission, according to the reports. Tate rose to fame in the public eye in 2016 after being kicked off of Big Brother's 17th season, following the publication of a video showing Tate seeming to beat a lady with a belt. He was then kicked off the program. And this video is online. You can easily find this video. I have seen it personally. It's very disturbing. And this is the main reason. I mean, this is literally the reason why I just fully just, started hating this man, right? Because I heard about Andrew Tate and I was like, oh, he's pretty funny. Like just his most outlandish, takes. I was like, yeah, this is funny. Like I was thinking like, oh, maybe he's playing the character too, and then I saw that video, and I was just like, oh, he actually means what he's saying, and it's very disturbing, right? Again, you can easily find the video if you're still not converted into a Tate hater, right? If you're still a Tater tot, time to be a Tate hater, right? Tate claimed that the behavior was consensual and posted a video clip to Facebook of a lady who identified herself as the woman in the video and claimed that the behavior was pure game. Yeah. Was Andrew Tate arrested? Question. Andrew Tate said in a since deleted YouTube video that Eastern Europe countries make it simpler to avoid prosecution of assault, claiming that this was probably 40% of the reason he moved there. Yeah, and he said it's also I believe he said something along the lines of it's like you won't get arrested for rape or some shit over there. And I mean, this is exactly a quote from him. He said, Eastern European countries make it simpler to avoid prosecution for assault. He said it's 40% the reason why he moved there. So, I mean, what? Just that being said, dude, it's just, come on, man, right? It's just, that's enough to be said. Like, what else do you need to hear? According to the Daily Beast, Romanian police searched Tate's home in April 2022 as part of an assault and human trafficking investigation after receiving information that an American woman was being detained against her will there. Romanian authorities found a Romanian woman and an American woman on the property. As of April 2022, according to Romanian police, the investigation was still ongoing. A United States citizen brought up the alleged kidnapping. State Department official declined to speak further due to privacy concerns. And by privacy concerns, I think she means threats from Andrew Tate. I'm just thinking Andrew Tate. Obviously, this is opinion. This is all alleged, but I'm pretty sure, Andrew Tate just threatened the fuck out of these two girls in this situation, right? I'm sure there's more girls out there that he's threatened, but in this situation specifically, I'm pretty sure he says something like, "Oh, if you say anything, you're dead. You're getting tortured or whatever. You're gonna be locked up here forever." Just saying the most outlandish shit, right? So I mean, you see that it's true, right? Like, the Romanian authorities found a Romanian woman and an American woman on the property. So, and there's no, and people are like, "Oh, maybe they were just there to hang out." There's nowhere where it says that, right? The Romanian police came for one thing only, to see if there was a woman there against her will. They found two. I mean, dude, a lot of people are being like, "Oh, it's not true, it's not true." It's literally stated right here. Like, you can have your fucking theories, you can fucking, be tater tot all you want, right? The evidence is right here. So, Andrew Tate net worth, nah, who cares about that? I'm staring at a photo right now that's on the website of a guy that appears to look like Andrew Tate doing the splits in front of a bunch of construction workers. What in the world? There's no way this is real, right? Like, this is fucking wild. Like, it's ass facing the construction workers. He's just in a complete split. That is bizarre. Yeah, so, alright, so I'm gonna read out, some of the, key facts that were brought up from Facebook, also known as Meta, and Instagram, banning Andrew Tate. So Meta confirmed the ban in a statement to Forbes, saying Tate violated the company's policies on hate speech, as well as their policy on dangerous organizations and individuals. So for the people saying, "Oh, it's free speech, dude. Oh, deplatforming is horrible. Like, it's Andrew Tate, but there's a big but. No pun intended. Platforming or banning someone for a take that they have, for a view that they have, should not be allowed, because then we're being held control of what we can say. We're being held control away from our freedom of speech, blah blah blah. You're saying all sort of shit like that. Well, on the policies on that, because Andrew Tate claims to know that, oh, I'm very well informed on the policies that, Facebook and Instagram have. I'm very well informed. Well, if he was so well informed in policies on specifically towards hate speech, it says dangerous organizations and individuals, that type shit is not allowed. And that's literally what he is, and that's literally what he's causing, right? He's causing a whole stampede of his minions just to, flood his shit on every social media, right? The former kickboxer's popularity has soared over the past few months, reaching 4.7 million Instagram followers by the time his account was removed. The BBC reported. Criticisms grew following dozens of videos and posts that have been condemned by advocacy groups and activists, including YouTube videos in which he refers to women as property. And that's one of the main things that I left out. I totally forgot. There's just so much shit. He labels women as property. When a woman is with a man, that woman is property to the man. That's literally how he says it. When a man is with a woman, the woman is property to the man. What fucking world do we live in that we actually take this man serious for what he's saying? And I'm not saying that he's not serious. I know he's serious. I know he 100% believes what he's saying. But who the fuck will listen to this, right? Who the fuck, listen to this guy's motivation? It's fucking wild. You really have to be, and I'm talking really down bad, you really have to be in the fucking trenches in order to listen to this guy and feel motivated from this shit. I feel like Andrew Tate is who, I feel like I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word on YouTube, but I feel like a school shooter listens to Andrew Tate before he does what he does, right? I feel like the most, and I'm talking the most just horrendous people, the people that just want bad for everyone, that just do horrendous shit. I'm talking serial killers, murders, and shit. They play Andrew Tate right before they do what they do. And, this is all personal opinion, right? And I'm talking about in Minecraft, right? I'm not talking real life. In Minecraft. I feel like they're the man he goes to, right? There's levels to this shit, right? And Andrew Tate, he's on the pedestal, and everyone else is just his minion or works for him. Criticisms grew following dozens of videos. And wait, did I read this? Oh yeah, he refers women as property. Explains how to attack women and force them into sex, and describes teenage girls as more attractive than women in their 20s because they can be controlled. I mean, how could they ban Andrew Tate, dude? He has amazing takes. Wow, dude. I'm so surprised why he got banned. I'm super surprised. We all have freedom of speech, man. What's going on in this world? Tate, whose Twitter account was suspended in 2017 after he said victims of rape and sexual harassment should bear responsibility for assault, remains on TikTok, where his posts have been viewed more than 12 billion times, as well as YouTube, where he has 756,000 subscribers. Oh, wow. A spokesperson for TikTok told Forbes the platform is conducting an investigation into misogynistic content, removing violative accounts and videos, and enhancing the way it detects such content. There's a lot of that on TikTok. There's a lot of I remember I saw a clip of a video, or I saw a TikTok on where there was a clip of a girl comedian, woman comedian. She was telling jokes, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't that funny of a joke. It was more like cringe, and the audience also appeared to be that way. And then seconds after that clip, there's like, you know, there's like a guy laughing, being like, ha ha ha, ha, so funny, just like something like that. Or I think he was just like, he had like an emotionless face, like he wasn't even laughing, and it got so many likes. I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of likes, millions of views. So, with that being said, the joke wasn't funny, but does that imply that she's not funny because she's a woman, or women aren't funny because of jokes they say? No. It just, the joke wasn't funny, right? Like, but that doesn't mean that women aren't funny, or that woman, or that comedian specifically wasn't funny. It was just a bad joke. Comedians bomb sometimes, and if any comedians are listening, which I fucking hope, invite me to your fucking comedy show. I'll pay for it. Just invite me. Bay Area. Let me know. Comedians bomb all the time, whether man or woman. Comedians bomb all the time. So the fact that they're saying, "Oh, women aren't funny," is just like, dude, come on. Like, it's just the most incel mindset shit ever, dude. It's just like, you understand that you're an incel. You understand that it's incredibly hard for you to get any ass, any pussy. You struggle. You keep trying, but you struggle because you let your incel ways get to you, and you'll forever just be a chronic, and it is what it is, right? It's not meant for everyone. The ban has been appalled by advocacy groups, including Hope Not Hate, which argued Tate's social media presence creates a dangerous slip road into the far right, and the rape crisis in England and Wales, which told the Daily Mail it is unacceptable that such a blatant display of misogyny is being given by a platform. Yeah, that's facts. Tate denied accusations he was misogynistic in an email to NBC News, but he has said in a YouTube video he doesn't care about being labeled misogynistic or being banned or canceled. And as time went on, he is now on Aiden Ross's Twitch stream saying that, I don't know why I got banned. He's like, oh, I know the rules very well. I don't know why I got banned. He's saying that he loves women. He said he was going to donate money to a woman on an Instagram post, but Instagram deleted his post. So, I can't donate now because now I won't get the same attention as if I would, as to, making a post about it on Instagram. Like, I mean, you see what he's doing, right? He's like, he notices that women he notices that people are trying to get him in trouble, he sees that social media is trying to ban him, right? So what does he do? He's like, I love women, and I'm going to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to them. So you see how, evil this shit is. So, so now that he's banned on social media, now what's the point of donating that much money, right? To the Women Foundation. It's just, dude, it's just, I mean, you see his tactics. You know what he's doing, right? And yeah, also he says he doesn't care about being banned or canceled, but went right on to fucking Aiden Ross's stream right when he got banned. And started complaining about it. He's saying that, oh, freedom of speech is dead, just saying shit like that. So, what's happening right now is that the lies are catching up to him, and it's it's starting to, take a toll on him, and you're starting to see that more in him, right? You're starting to see his face realizing that, oh man, I'm about to lose my whole audience. I'm about to lose everything that I worked for, essentially. You're starting to see that in him, and he's in a state right now where he's just begging. He's just apologizing in a way, or not even apologizing, but he's saying shit like he's saying the opposite of what he's been saying, right? Like now he's talking about God. He's saying God will prevail through all this. You weren't talking about God before any of this shit. When you were doing when you weren't getting any hate, when you were getting just top G comments or your top G, you weren't even talking about God at all. You weren't even talking about, saying, oh, God is the reason why I do it. You weren't saying any of the shit that you're saying now. Now he's saying, oh, I love women. Women are the best. Like, dude, what game are you playing? We all know what you're doing. We all see what you're doing. You're like the only person that feels like, oh, we're so stupid, or we'll easily fall for shit like this. Like, dude, what are you doing? Right? It's like, it's like someone like trying to hide a fart, like they fart during class, and they like turn around and everyone's looking at them, and they're like moving their chair, like, oh yeah, I just moved my chair. It wasn't a fart. Like they're just trying to hide it. Like we saw what you did. We heard it. We fucking smell it, right? And now you're trying to play it off like, oh yeah, I just moved my chair. Like, oh, my chair makes that noise. Like, dude, we know what you did. Like, stop trying to hide it. Now you're being like, oh, blah blah blah. Like, dude, there's so much fucking evidence that proves that you are misogynistic than there is that you're not, right? So you can say, oh, I'm not misogynistic, because that's the only thing that backs you up. That's the only thing that you can use as evidence. You just claim that you're not a misogynistic. But there's so much video evidence that you are. And all this evidence is coming from you. You're the one who's fucking saying shit like this. So it's like, oh, I don't know where they got this from, or they're just making it up. Oh, it was written in an article. Dude, there's literally a video of your fucking face saying these shit. So it's just like, how can you possibly defend that you're not a misogynistic? That you're not any of these, terms that people are using against you. Sex trafficker, an abuser, like you literally have no room to defend yourself. You did all this to yourself, buddy. So, you can really only blame yourself for what all that shit that's going on. Let's see. Between just a little fact I'm gonna say, between July 10th and July 23rd, he generated more Google searches than former President Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, and COVID-19. That is bizarre. I mean, I don't know why this guy caused so much controversy, if I'm being quite honest. Like I know he had the most outlandish takes, but why do people care so much? Like, why do they pay so much attention to him? I mean, it's kind of good that they did, because now he's banned. So maybe if there wasn't this much attention on him, he wouldn't have gotten banned. I don't know. But why do people care so much, right? I don't think people care anymore. I don't care about him. I'm just fucking, reading his ban. But honestly, I never fucking give a fuck about him. I'm just here to report what fucking happened. Cause I know it gets me clicks and shit. But I have other topics I gotta talk about, and I've been talking about this for a longest time. So I probably have to move on now. Jake Paul says that he wants to box Andrew Tate, and now that's what I want to see. That's a rare W for Jake Paul, because even though I dislike Jake Paul for many reasons, similar reasons to Andrew Tate, and other shit, I do want to see Jake Paul knock the fuck out of Andrew Tate. That'd be dope. Because I do essentially hate Andrew Tate more than I dislike Jake Paul. So yeah, that'd be dope. Let's get right into the next topic. So for the next topic that I have the House of Dragons has been getting good reviews. I'll admit right now on the podcast, I have not watched a single episode of the House of Dragon. I believe only one episode released, so I haven't seen that episode, nor have I watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. I'm just mostly talking about this because it's getting a lot of views, and it's fresh right now. It's being talked about a lot. It's trending, so. But I am not against it. I may end up watching this. Obviously, I think I have to watch Game of Thrones first to, just get the lore of Game of Thrones, so I can understand this show. But what I've been hearing from a lot of people, that it's a 10 out of 10. The first episode was a 10 out of 10. The pilot. That's a lot to say, right? Like a 10 out of 10. Like there's literally no wrong in that episode. It's a perfect introduction to the show. The characters are well played in this show. The setting is amazing. The way that shit just goes on in the show. Like, everything about this episode is flawless. That's what I've been hearing. So, if you're into this show, if you were in a Game of Thrones, I would highly recommend to watch this then. Just based on what the majority of people are saying, right? So HBO has followed the majesty of the Game of Thrones with what might be called Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, a series whose epic visual grandeur belies a smaller and less addictive power struggle, more narrowly focused on the Targaryen line. It's not bad, and there are dragons aplenty, but it doesn't produce the sort of characters that defined and elevated its predecessor to prestige TV royalty. Working from author George R.R. Martin's prequel, Fire and Blood, the new series has the disadvantage of being set almost 2 centuries before the key events in Game of Thrones, taking place 172 years prior to the birth of Daenerys Targaryen. And I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I have no idea how to pronounce that. That ratchets up the pressure to sink or swim, or rather soar or sputter, strictly on its own terms. The current occupation of the Iron Throne, King Viserys Targaryen, Tate side, is somewhat feckless as monarchs go, so much that he calls weak by his brother Daemon, Matt Smith playing a different prince from his role in The Crown, a ruthless libertarian who openly lusts for power. Yet, while HBO was clearly cracked open the piggy bank to ensure that the looks is as sumptuous as one would anticipate, and composer Ramin Djawadi's lightly modified score goes a long way in rekindling the mood, such series are built on characters. Simply put, the occupants of this kingdom initially pale next to the likes of Tyrion, Arya, or indeed any of the Lannister or Stark kids. House of Dragon tries playing a similar game, but 11 years after the first series made its debut, the TV world has changed. And at its best, both the series and HBO will likely have settled for a smaller, more qualified, less decisive victory. So yeah, House of Dragon premieres August 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO, which, like CNN, is a unit of Warner Bros. Okay. I'm just trying to find like good chunks I can read off of because again, I'm not too big on you know, House of the Dragon, but I do want to talk about it a little bit more. I mostly want to get in the reviews. I feel like the reviews was the main thing I was looking for, because it just got in so many good reviews that I literally had to get into. Yahoo Entertainment, House of the Dragon review, a flawless adaptation. Article by Martin Carr. With the promise of political intrigue and perpetual power struggles, House of the Dragon ushers into another era of landmark television, so another era of landmark television. 3 years after Game of Thrones finally finished on a contentious note with season 8, this world-expanding entry looks back 200 years of a time of Targaryens. The world is one beset with internal conflicts, territorial wars, and family subterfuge, making this the rippiest televisual prospect to come from Sky in some time. However, the shoes it looks to fill are gargantuan and defined by industry adulation, audience acclaim, and innumerable awards across the board. Game of Thrones not only changed the landscape in terms of long-form entertainment, but reset expectations by going larger than any other series had done before. There may have been a backlash to the final season in some particularly passionate petitioners, but nonetheless, House of the Dragon has its work cut out in more ways than one. Okay. So what I'm seeing, I mean, the title is literally that it's a flawless adaptation. Like if there was a sequel to Game of Thrones, this is literally it. Like this is the masterpiece, right? This is just the perfect adaptation. People need to watch this. While House of the Dragon is hardly a masterpiece, it is an addictively watchable series full of juicy drama, palace intrigue, and crowd pleasing got nostalgia. Yeah. So that's good, man. It's flawless. And I apologize if I haven't had a good, discussion on the show. I just don't know much about it. I'm just relying on these articles I can read off of because I really don't know much about it. But yeah, I mean, let me know if you guys like the show, because maybe from one of you guys, just describing what's good about the show, I can, participate in watching it as well and possibly talk more about it on the podcast with more knowledge on what it's about, And let me know if I have to watch Game of Thrones first in order to understand the lore of the House of the Dragon, right? Or House of the Dragon, not the House of the House of the Dragon, right? Yeah, just let me know and I'll talk about it more. And yeah, let me get into the next topic. So this one I have to talk about pretty quickly because I do have to go. But She-Hulk review, entertaining. It's labeled as entertaining but much too heavy-handed. So obviously the first episode the episodes are gonna be released every Thursday. So the first episode has premiered already last Thursday. And it's being described as pretty enjoyable and at times quite funny. It doesn't take itself too serious, which is cool, right? It has this comedic value to it. Miss Laney is a charismatic lead, and her Jen Walters is most likely is mostly quite likable and fun to spend time with, especially when she breaks the fourth wall and talks directly to the audience. Oh, that's pretty cool. Kind of like Malcolm and Malcolm in the Middle. And while it may seem at first blush like Walters is a bit of Mary Sue in the series premiere, where she can do everything the Hulk had to spend over a decade learning in a day, we quickly learn that her troubles are far from over and that her superpowers will lead to some setbacks as well. The next few episodes featured cameos from other familiar faces in a series of somewhat mundane conflicts, looking for work, online dating, troubles, etc. And a tiny bit of courtroom comedy. Mostly, this all works fine. Through 4 episodes deep, I'm more likely to describe it as mildly entertaining than anything. I do appreciate the shorter episodes, as this is definitely the type of show that works better in small chunks. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Where was I? As what I find less appealing is the heavy-handed messaging the show inflicts on viewers. I say this as someone who very much believes in workplace equality, and I know that the sexism in the workplace and everywhere is a real problem that women especially face. But there's something to be said for conveying these issues with a lighter touch. That's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I do understand that, right? That's good that it's, you know, it's less heavy-handed messaging, you know. And, you know, Jen lectures. Okay, so this is basically just describing what the show is, and obviously I don't want to spoil it, so I won't be saying the spoilers. But on Rotten Tomatoes, the show is rated. I'm gonna be saying the critic review and the audience score. So for the critic review, it is rated an 85%, which is very high, especially for a show. And obviously, critics, you know, watch the whole season before the audience does. So based on the whole season, they rated an 85%, which is very high and saying a lot, right? Audience score based on the first episode has rated at 71%. So this is very rare to see when the critic review is higher than the audience review. It's pretty crazy to see that. Obviously this is based on the first episode. So that makes sense. But for the critics, all 9 episodes, season 1, rated an 85. With how many reviews? Is it stated here? It's not stated. But it has 85%. That is just amazing. And I think that's enough to be said about this topic. You know, just shows you that you gotta go watch it. Just go watch it. Why do you want to hear me talking about it? Just go watch the damn shows. Watch The House of the Dragon. Watch She-Hulk. Do your own review on it, you know. See how you feel about it. I have not watched She-Hulk either. I will watch clips. Reason why I haven't watched the show is because it's on Disney Plus, and I do not have Disney Plus. I have Netflix. But I may be converting to Disney Plus because they have a lot of good. They start adding a lot of good shows to it. So I do want to get into that. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Let me know how you guys felt about this podcast. Let me know how you guys felt about any of the topics that I talked about. Let me know what you think about Andrew Tate. Let me know how you think of House of the Dragon. And also, finally, let me know how you feel about She-Hulk. Let me know about the shows. Tell me which one's better. Which one needs more improvement. You know, just let me know. And I'll be responding to any of the comments. You know, if you're watching this from Spotify, I appreciate you. You know, keep streaming. You know, make sure you download. Not just Spotify, but any streaming platform. You're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. You know, like the video, subscribe. If If you're watching this on YouTube as well, all my links are in the description if you want to check them out. And for the streaming services, people are listening to this on streaming services. My Instagram is where is Unwanted Mind. My TikTok is Unwanted Mind. My Twitter is Frank Magana 15. My Snapchat is FrankieMag21. Go check me out on those stuff. If you forget anything I just said, just check the description on my Instagram or on my YouTube, and you'll easily find it. YouTube is also where YouTube is Unwanted Mind. And just check me out. Post gaming videos 2 times a week. Post a podcast 1 time a week. Just let me know how you guys felt about this podcast. Sorry if it seemed more low energy. I was definitely I definitely had to push myself to record this podcast because, it's harder at times, but that's not gonna stop us. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep doing what we know best. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Peace.